What's going on, College Football Nation? My name is Ben Ledoux, and you're watching the Voice of College Football Recruiting channel. You can follow my socials, X and Instagram at BallByBen. In this video today, we are continuing our 2026 Blue Chip Recruiting Class Series with the number 14 player in the nation, Richard Wesley. And as we pull up his 24/7 scouting report here, he plays the position of edge, height standing at 6'5", weighing in at 250 pounds. He attends Sierra Canyon High School out of Chatsworth, California. 24/7 Sports Composite has him as the number 14 player in the nation, the number 2 edge, and the number 3 player out of California. No crystal ball predictions. It seems like this guy is kind of on the fence or hasn't really decided where he wants to go yet. We'll hop into his Twitter after we watch the film and go over the scouting report to see if he has a top 4 or any bids that's coming up soon. He holds 24 offers, notably from Ohio State, Texas, Oregon, Arizona State, and California. And as we hop into his huddle highlights here, we are going to be watching his posted on November 26, 2024. Hopefully his junior highlights here. Let's hop straight in. We got 3 minutes and 9 seconds. I'll be intrigued to see if he only plays the edge rusher position. But 6'5", 245 pounds. That's an absolute monster for the high school level. So let's see here. We got a little bit of a left end or right end look, or left end. Sacks quarterback. We got strip sack. Gets on the ball and still recovers it. So we haven't really watched an edge rusher in a while, but there's a couple things that I'm going to be looking at primarily to see how he plays. I want to see him win at the point of attack. So is he more of a defensive edge rusher, waiting for the offensive tackle to make his move, or is he more of a hands-on guy, really trying that first step, make it explosive and try and, win, get his hands on first and, dip, swim, or just straight up bull rush guys, or, have the ability to, or have the quickness to get around the edge first and beat the guy just off pure quickness. So let's see. Great first step. That's a big stride. He looks very strong, like a physical presence on that, against that left tackle there. Oh, but he's also lining up at both sides. This is the game-winning sack, apparently. So he's a big-time player. Okay, so we've seen 3 highlights and 3 strips. Or sorry, 2 highlights, or 3 highlights, 2 strips, and a pass breakup. It seems like he's a disruptive player in the run game. He's playing against modern day here. So this is some really good competition. Yeah, for how big he is, he shouldn't be that fast around the edge. So he's lined up directly above this guy. Really patient, waiting for, if that's a QB option. Yeah. So I like his patience. He's not one to really fall for. Let's see the motor to finish the play. Yeah, I like that too. When the ball's going to the opposite side of the field, I like him being able to finish the play. Oh my gosh, this dude has a knack for the football. So I just want to watch this one because this is an end zone view. I just want to see. So he swipes right away. I like that. Even though he looks a little hemmed up here, he still is maintaining contact with his arm to be able to swim it away at any point like he did just there and make a play at the ball. Looks like that quarterback might have been gone for 6, though. I mean, that's just an unfortunate event. I wouldn't necessarily determine, see him as a speed rusher, even though he's using his quickness at the high school level to just, bend around these guys and make a play at the quarterback. It seems like he's going to be a power rusher just based off his sheer size and, oh my gosh, sheer size and weight and, all the intangibles that he has. I mean, sitting at 6'5", 245 pounds. He's got quick, violent hands, though, and he's making plays consistently. Gosh, that guy's a monster. Here we got him kind of going up against a different player here, not the tackle. He's going up against the guard, and he just drives him back. I want to see his pad level here. Yeah. You see how he I'm going to pause it right where he gets hands on. So see, this guy stood up. He's lost because he's got the lower angle. What would you call that? I'm like mixing up the word here, but level of attack. And he's just driving this guy back. I mean, that's a win every single time. So I like his pad level. I like the way that he got his hands on and just drove that guy and eliminated him from even being able to make a block. So he misses the tackle here, but doesn't give up and just slams the guy. That's a great play there. He's primarily looking out of this, 4-point stance, So he's been showing us throughout these highlights that he's not only a disruptor in the pass game, but also a disruptor in the run game. Even though from that edge position, he's still blowing up the middle. Patient, showing hands. Yeah, I mean, that quarterback has no idea what to do. I like his ability to play like ferocious and nasty, throw guys to the ground even after missing tackles, but also, like in that last play, displaying their, trying to, even though, going for the sack might, benefit him in, adding a stat to his stat sheet, but here disrupting the pass is also a great way to show out on things that don't necessarily pop up on the stat sheet. So when plays break down, you are expecting pressure from both ends, from Richard Wesley here. Oh my gosh. So I mean, he is a complete edge here. When he doesn't necessarily get to the backfield right away, he is showing his ability to be disruptful in the passing lanes. I remember in basketball when I used to play is that you'd always want to be flashing your hands. You don't want to give the passer a free lane to be able to, bounce pass it or throw it over the top or chest pass or something like that. He's constantly throwing his hands up in there. And now recently that, defensive tackles and edges are now they're getting stats for pass breakups or pass deflections. And Cameron Hayward for the Steelers, was one of the top disruptors in the pass game as a defensive tackle. So that's huge for him to be able to, when he doesn't necessarily win on the point of attack against a tackle or a guard, he's still being able to disrupt the play from a pass deflection angle. So we'll hop into his scouting report here by Greg Biggins. Wesley was a top 5 overall prospect in the class of 27 before reclassifying to the class of 26. 6'5", 245 pounds as a sophomore. That's unfair. That's disgusting. That's good disgusting. That's crazy. A very talented player and the best edge prospect to come out of California since at least Kayvon Thibodeau from the class of 2019 has actually been compared to Thibodeau in terms of frame and play style, but at the same stage in their development. Might look further along from a size, strength, and toughness standpoint. Shows off natural pass rush ability and can dominate the run game as well. Flashes a quick get off and uses his hands well and can bend, dip, and explode off the corner. Strong at the point of attack and shows off a nice physical edge in his game. Loves the weight room and has multi-sport background. We like to see an edge rusher as well. What we like to see in an edge rusher as well. When you combine his size, natural athleticism, motor, and work ethic, his ceiling is as high as any player out of the West. I mean, that's perfect. I mean, just off that first sentence alone, him reclassifying from the class of 27 to the class of 26 as a 6'4", 6'5", 245, 250 pound edge rusher is insane at his age. So, I mean, colleges are going to recruit him just based off potential alone, which I really, really like for him as a player. So we'll hop into his Twitter real quick just to see if we got any idea of where he's going. We can make maybe an educated guess. So top performers from the Under Armour camp, from the next camp in Los Angeles. He was the second one, just coming up right behind the MVP, Oscar Rios. So, I mean, he's shouting out other guys. So let's see here. News, 5-star Oregon edge commit. Wait, 5-star Oregon edge commit Richard Wesley will take an official visit. Why are they saying he's committed to Oregon? I don't know. But, I mean, it looks like he's got a top 4 here because 24/7 doesn't say that he's committed anywhere. But Oregon, Texas, Ohio State, and A&M. That's interesting. Well, here's his official visits. So June 6th, which just passed. So he already went to Oregon, which we saw. It looks like he's got Texas coming up, then Ohio State, and then a to be determined out of Texas A&M. So, I mean, this dude's 6'4", looking like that. I mean, that looks like a lean build for 245. Look at his arms. Got some long arms popping up there too. Wow. And he had a 4.0 GPA. That's impressive to see out of an edge rusher that I really like. So that's Richard Wesley. Based, like I kind of talked about a couple seconds ago, I like him as a player just based off his potential alone. I mean, we saw him at every aspect of the game, disrupt the run, disrupt the pass, in the pass rush sense, but also in the pass deflection sense. So he's got a great feel for the edge position, especially for how young he is. So I really like his potential going into whatever college he decides to attend. And I'd be really, really intrigued to see if they want to get him started right away. And really, if he plays senior, freshman, sophomore, and junior year, if he's able to go into the draft as like a 19-year-old or a 20-year-old, would be insane potential for a high draft prospect. So because teams are going to look at that and realize that, oh yeah, we got an edge rusher for the next 12 years basically, and that's nuts for a guy who was in the class of 27 that reclassified to the class of 2026. So that's Richard Wesley. Make sure y'all are tuning into every video that we got. We're kind of rounding out the top 20 here, the 20 players that I have on my list. I know the rankings change every day, so it might not be the top 20, but we're rounding out 20 players a part of this channel. So I'm very excited. But make sure y'all follow my socials, X and Instagram at BallByBen, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace, y'all.